Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Real or Real podcast. This is a show where we like to tell each other stories, and we're either lying or we're not. This is a show where we like to tell each other stories of things that could have happened or could not have happened. They could either be real reports or they very well could be the fictional storylines to some random IP. My name is Bone Dragon, and sitting next to me is the ever lovely
Pyxie Dusted.
Yay, Pyxie. You know, Pyxie, we're supposed to have a guest here today.
Not just the little dog?
No, not just the
Like a
little
real
dog.
guest?
No,
like
no.
a for real guest?
Yes, we have a real guest.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I know, right? It's our first one. But, yeah, so I kind of forgot to conjure him into the voodoo doll here. So I'm going to
do that now.
I'm going to do that real quick, okay?
Do that now.
All right. See if I can remember the words. The words, I may be getting them wrong, and if so, it's really gonna, well, it's a crapshoot. We'll see. Anyway, okay, so, oh great Dambala, give me the power, I beg of you!
I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
think
right.
that should have been a different thing. No, wait. Oh,
Well,
wait,
it worked!
Oh, there we go. I
Holy
told
crap,
you
it worked.
I told you it would work.
Oh,
All right,
man.
so,
Man, this body is weird. Okay.
I know, right?
Guess I'll have to get used to this.
All right, everybody. This is Riggs. Say
Hello.
hi, Riggs.
How's it going, everybody?
Riggs is a good friend of mine. He's also a animator from back in the Newgrounds days. So, good times had by all.
Mostly. But
Mostly.
we're trying to find a way back to the good timesville through some
Yeah.
side roads.
Well, I mean, ever since Newgrounds went down, it kind of, I'm not allowed to speak ill of Adobe, so I can't really complain too much. But anyway, all right. So today I've got a story to tell you all, and it's going to be an absolute gas. Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Sounds like farts.
Gas usually is fun.
There is that. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get into the story.
Let me tell you a story.
All right, you all.
Okay.
I've got a story here. So, prepare your ear holes. I'd like to tell you all about a man named Alexei Dragomir. Okay?
Alexei Dragomir.
Alexei Dragomir.
Sounds
Yeah.
Russian.
Sounds Pokemon.
Actually,
But which evolution is he?
I want to be the very best.
In Soviet Russia, Pokemon evolve you.
Actually, he's Bulgarian. He had moved to a town called Kingswood, England, from his home country of Bulgaria. Mainly because he was trying to look for better opportunities, a better job than just, making borscht in the back of the barn or
Food
Hell,
that
I
is
don't-
reportedly even more bland than Homeland.
I don't.
I'm trying to piss off all your British viewers like early in the show.
Oh, we've
Well,
already
we
done that.
done that. That's
Oh,
already
yeah,
been,
yeah.
that's already happened.
Yeah,
like,
that has
a
been
million
accomplished.
times over. Yeah. If we have any British listeners, they're hanging on.
Oh, I
anyway.
can't offend anybody. That makes me sad.
Yeah, they're probably hate listening at this point.
Technically you could. We are talking about a Bulgarian here, so.
I don't know any stereotypes about Bulgarians, though.
Where is Bulgaria?
Bulgaria? That's actually a good question.
I ask the difficult things that you have to look up. We're going to learn today.
Gonna learn ya!
I'm gonna throw up a big map on the
Bulgaria
screen.
is an area of Europe that is just below Romania and sits to the right of Serbia and northern Macedonia.
That's awesome. I still have no idea where it is.
So between Hungary and Turkey.
Turkey.
Okay. Yes, Turkey. All right. You know that spot between, you know where Italy is, right?
Yes.
You know where Turkey is, right?
Sorta.
Turkey.
I'm calling them Turkey. I have reasons. All right. So there's Italy and Turkey. And between there's a landmass that consists of Croatia, Romania, Serbia, Greece, Hungary, Ukraine, Moldova, and, right in the middle of all of that is Bulgaria.
So near Russia.
Yeah. Near, but kind of between what we think of when we think England and Russia. So that's where it is.
Soviet-ish.
Sure.
Okay.
Soviet adjacent.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So.
But just for those who want to know, I will start calling it Turkey when they admit to the fact that they tried to kill my grandfather and his mother. So, yeah. Anyway. So,
moving on.
Alexei Dragomir moved to a town called Kingswood, England, which is not far from London. And this is in 2008 when he did this. Mainly he came here because he wanted to find different opportunities than just, farmland and, making vodka and whatever else Bulgarians do. I don't know what Bulgarians do.
They make a lot of films now in that area.
Yeah, now, but this is 2008 that we're talking about here.
No. It started like there was a big location boom for filming things there, starting way back in like the early 2000s, late 90s. That Vin Diesel movie was filmed there. Triple X.
Okay.
Was like over in that area. Not necessarily.
You said that Vin
area,
Diesel movie.
That one Vin Diesel movie.
And the first one that popped into my head was Triple X or the one.
Not the cars.
Yeah.
The one with the good soundtrack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's debatable. Anyway.
You don't like Rammstein?
I like Rammstein.
Well.
They're not the only ones on that soundtrack.
There was that. Okay, anyway, so he moved from Bulgaria to...
He moved from Bulgaria...
England.
To Kingswood, England.
For better opportunities.
For better opportunities, hoping he could find some kind of work, get some money, maybe take care of his mom and dad back home, blah, 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 all that other good stuff. But of course, whenever there's situations like this, you know how it usually goes. Small town village person moves to the city, think that they're going to be able to make all kinds of money and do all kinds of stuff, and the streets are paved in gold, and, you could pull sandwiches from the trees and stuff, and they get here and find out it's not really as cracked up as it's supposed to be, right?
The next film in the Hostel series, yes.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
And see, I was thinking...
No, that's Germany.
Yeah. No, Amsterdam. Wasn't Hostel Amsterdam?
Okay. I think so.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. But I was thinking more of along the lines of Borat.
Oh, God. We are not going to do Borat impressions. That's already been done to death. And I'm not going to be the guy at the bar who sits around going, my wife, to people that, nobody asked him to do this. He's just sitting around and you're not sure who he's talking to,
Which is good because Borat is not among my repertoire of voices and impressions.
Oh, yeah. No.
I know of the Borat movies, but I've never actually seen them.
I haven't.
Neither have I, and
honestly,
I wasn't gonna say it. But
yeah, I don't. I
since
don't
the ice
want
is broken,
to
like
see
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I have no drive to watch them. I don't know.
I am familiar with
not my
Borat through
style.
memes.
Yeah, that's not my style of comedy, but yeah, it's same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Memes and clips, and the fact that he was on like every talk show imaginable at the time as that character.
All right, so Alexei here, he moves to Kingswood and finds out that, it's not the land of milk and honey that he thought that it was. So he winds up getting a job as it didn't say whether he was an Uber driver or no, this is 2008, so I think it's a taxi. I'm not sure. When did Uber and
Lyft and all of that?
Lyft and all that. When did that start? Because it was well after 2008, right?
If it was anywhere near that, would have been right at the start. Seems to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Maybe 2010, 11, something like that.
Yeah. So he became a taxi driver. And, of course, whenever you're a driver, like an Uber or a taxi or something like that.
A ride-share vehicle.
Sure. Whenever you're one of those, then you know that the best time, if you really need fares, is
3 a.m.
Exactly. When you're picking up patrons or taking them to the bar or something like that, right?
Yeah, bringing everybody home from the bars
between
and
stops
pubs.
of having to let like squeegee out the puke from the back of your plastic-lined car.
Exactly.
Of course, right?
Because he's a professional.
Of course.
But also you have to think about, like, they're mainly going to be coming from pubs, which have, food. So maybe they're not as drunk? No, wait, we're talking
Come
about...
on.
Yeah, I think
We're
the
talking
food is
about
the food is
never
kind
mind.
of just like a legal requirement at this point. It's like the token menu item that nobody ever orders.
Right. I mean, we're talking about,
This beef tastes like boot leather. Oh, that's a deep cut that nobody's going to get.
Sorry, Riggs, you don't get that one. We've been binging.
Well, maybe he does.
I don't know.
I don't. So yeah, you can go ahead.
There's a BBC show called what's it called?
The Goes Wrong Show.
The Goes Wrong Show, and we've been binging it, and I have not verbally laughed this hard in forever.
Season 1 or 2 are now available to watch on YouTube free with ads. Not sponsored.
The Goes Wrong Show, like that idea, kind of reminds me of like the Misadventures of Todd Margaret.
Kind of.
Just as a concept.
Yeah. So, Alexei here is not too happy about life. He expected everything to be so much better when he got to England. Didn't turn out that way. He's a taxi driver now. He's barely able to afford his rent. He's, not able to send as much money as he hoped he could back home and all that other good stuff. And, just it's the reality of life getting to him, right? So he winds up becoming kind of a cranky person. He's the kind of person who comes into work, you say good morning to him, and he just kind of he's there to earn a paycheck and that's it, not going to make any friends, not there for, anything, he was kind of hoping to find a wife when he first moved, but, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But anyway, so that's him. Now, let me introduce you you two, to a man named Jim Ellery.
Jim Ellery. Hey, Jim Ellery.
Jim Ellery is a party goer. He is one of those young guys who's like, trying to live up his young adult life as much as possible before, responsibilities start to kick his ass into submission.
So at this point, he's become a specialist at throwing up without getting any of it on him.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's gotten really good at that.
He's a pro.
He's the one who can make the whore sound without actually, doing anything. He can swallow it down. He swallows it back down real quick. He's also he's also the kind of guy that, have you ever seen one of those the British movies about the people who like to fight and they carry around a mouth guard with them everywhere they go? Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Okay.
But yeah, Jim Ellery, he's a bar goer. He loves doing pub crawls. He loves going out, hanging out with his friends and everything, getting into fights, getting drunk, doing all that stuff because he wants to do it before he dies, right?
He wants to have a pint and wait for the whole thing to blow over?
No, he wants to have a pint and be the reason why everybody wants it to blow over. So that's just the way he is. But anyway, so he had a wonderful breakfast of, I don't know. I imagine British people eat beans with everything for breakfast. So we'll say toast and beans. And, he's going about his day. And then he decides, he's like, you know what? I'm going to go to the pub tonight. He calls all of his friends and he says, hey, so let's go out. They're all like, hell yeah, let's go out. Of course, I'm not using actual British dialect because I'm not stupid. Not saying that British people are stupid, but I'm saying that I'm not going to try to do a British accent because it is terrible.
Well, we've done that before. It doesn't go well.
Yeah, it doesn't go well at all.
So anyway, then I should put this back in my pocket from where I took it out and was getting ready to use it. Like, no. I want to hear you. No. We've embarrassed ourselves already. It may come up when the opportunity arises.
It is a rite of passage for us. You have to do.
And we may get there, but I kind of like the way I do it. Like my British very quickly takes a hard turn into Australian. and to other similar dialects.
That's funny because whenever I do any kind of accent, it winds up becoming Scottish. No idea why, but anyway, so Jim here gathers up all of his friends and they all decide that they're going to go to the pub and everything and have a good time and enjoy the weekend and whatnot. But of course, you know how people like to do. They have to pregame, right? Because that's a thing.
Well,
pre-gaming.
Well, as
oh dear God in heaven,
as not at all a celebrated drunk, I can't really say that I know too much about that pre-gaming, unless that's the internet equivalent of I'm trying to think of a porn joke, but it's not coming to me.
Pre-gaming for females means a completely different thing. I went, assuming that it was going to be, let's go ahead and get drunk so we don't have to spend as much on drinks when we go out. No, it's just giggling and doing each other's makeup and hair and talking shit about people.
Jesus, what the hell is wrong with women?
I know, right?
Because pre-gaming,
that sounds
and now there goes all the female listeners.
I know, right? There goes.
Bye-bye.
Damn it! I was stuck with all the dude bros.
I kind of want to have that group bonding.
You can also get that at slumber parties.
You were at my bachelor party. Do we really even need a bunch of nerds sitting around listening to music, getting drunk, and puking into Tupperware? No, we do not need to have a repeat of that. No.
Well, being a bit older now, I think we could handle that with slightly more responsibility. Maybe, probably not.
Boy, you'd think so, but man, my back hurts these days.
It wasn't that long ago.
Now you're just doing extra drinking just to make the joint pain go away.
All right.
Jim
Bar
Ellery and his
crawl.
friends, they decide that they're going to do some pre-gaming. They're going to be doing some drinking before going to the pub. And they're like, all right, let's have some lager. Let's have some various, whiskey and all kinds of stuff like that. And do you know what happens to a male gut when he drinks a bunch of beer on an empty stomach?
They get knocked down, but they get up again?
Or most of them does. The rest of them remains on the floor.
Well, I mean, this is more of a universal thing. Have you ever heard of a term called the beer gas?
Oh.
I have to censor myself on this one. That's not actually the term. It's let's
When have you
just say
ever censored yourself on this show or
I
in
censor
life?
myself on this show all the time. Thank you very much. Compared to my other show, I am highly censored here.
Oh, that is true. That is
Yeah.
true.
So let's just put it this way: it's called the running trots,
Lovely.
or the mudslide, or as me and my friends used to call it, the beer. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
More
So-
culture.
Yeah, I know, right? So, I mean, of course, it doesn't hit Jim very hard. He just, he thinks to himself, well, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom at some point in the night, right? So they go ahead and call for a cab so that they can go to the pub. And Alexei he doesn't decide. He's the one who takes the call. And he drives out there. He's in a foul mood as it is, right? Because whatever happened tonight was just like the worst. He's starting to hate his job. He's starting to hate the fact that he lives in this country where all of his dreams had died and all this, that, and the other, and whatnot. But he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to get through the night. It'll be fun. So he pulls up, and Alexei and all of his, or not Alexei. Shit. What's this guy's name?
Damn it, we just met him and I
Jim.
don't know his name
Jim.
now. Yes.
Jim
Right.
Celery.
Jim Ellery.
Yeah, that's right.
So Jim and all of his friends come out and they get into the cab. And of course, being, the typical type of people that they are, they're being loud as hell, super annoying, right? And they ask Alexei a question, and he answers in his Bulgarian accent, right? And they hear this and they start going insane. They are laughing and making fun of them and joking about it and everything. And he's just getting more and more pissed off. The longer this is going on, he just keeps getting worse and worse, So he's trying to drive to the pub, trying to let it go, and thinking to himself, okay, as soon as I drop them off, I'm just going to stop for a bit and decompress. It'll be fine. Let's just get this over with. But of course, they're the typical type of people, just got to poke the bear, poke the bear, poke the bear. So they're, digging into him, trying to get, like, doing that whole, hey, come on, man, just answer the question, why aren't you talking to us, and all that, and he eventually, something within Alexei just popped. His mind just snapped, right? So he yells at them that he's not talking because they are assholes. So Jim's like, okay, cool. this is going to be my first fight of the night. So he starts laying into Alexei. And of course, Alexei's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm not a national. I'm just trying to get work done. If I get into this with this guy, it's going to be nothing but trouble for me. So you know what? I'm leaving it alone. And, but Jim's not taking that. He's not taking it at all. So he's sitting there, laying into the guy, and then one of Jim's friends decides that he's going to smack Alexei in the back of the head.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and so Alexei just like he's had it, He's already to the point where he wants to be done. He's like, I'm done. As soon as I drop them off, I'm going home. Screw this noise, So they're driving to the pub, and about halfway there, the crew decide that they're going to calm down now because they're starting to get bored. They just want to go to the pub now, right? And Alexei's like, all right, cool. We could just leave this alone. Just drive in silence the rest of the way, and everything will be fine. I'll go home afterwards.
Part of me suspects that winds up not being the case.
And then Jim decides to do the worst thing you could possibly think of in a situation like this.
Oh, he starts singing.
His tummy starts gurgling.
Different singing. Okay.
Yeah. You could say that he was singing out of his ass.
Hits the brown note.
Yes. And of course, the way that these taxis are, you can't roll down the windows for some reason, right? So, Jim rips a nasty one. Like the kind that makes your eyeballs melt, It's really, really bad. And that's when his friends, Jim's friends, start laughing and joking and cutting up and, just making every joke that they could think of. And Alexei finally snaps.
I mean, it couldn't have been that bad if they're all still alive, though.
Right. But apparently it was so bad that Alexei just pulled right over and was yelling for them to get out. Get out of the taxi. Just get out. I don't care. Get out. Just get out. And of course, Jim jumps into this saying, yeah, well, you want to fight about it? So at this point, Alexei's like, screw it. I don't care. He gets out of the car. They both get out of the taxi. And Alexei comes around the other side. They're about to get into it. And one of Jim's female friends is like, no, we don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. And Jim takes a swing and clocks Alexei in the jaw. Have I told you that Alexei was once a member of the Bulgarian military?
No, I don't believe that was brought up.
Yeah, I think you left that detail out.
Well, I'm bringing it up now because here's the thing. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army. I have been in war a couple different times. One thing that I've found is that there are 3 militaries that you do not mess with. One is the French.
The French? Really?
Yeah, the French. You do not mess with the French.
The French invented the guillotine and actually eliminating the upper classes. They I imagine that if anyone's going to mess you up, it's going to be the French.
Oh, absolutely. The French have something to prove.
That never ever occurred to me. Like I don't know. Like I have this stereotype in my head of like the French are just like laid back, cigarette smoking, androgynous beret wearing.
That's what they want you to
baguette eating.
Oh no.
Pacifists.
See, that's the thing. Their military is they are hardcore about proving that stereotype is not true.
Huh.
So
I had no idea.
You don't play with the French.
Okay.
You don't play with the Italians. The Italians will bury you where nobody will ever find you. Okay?
That makes sense.
Don't mess with the Italians.
I believe that one.
And don't mess with the Bulgarians.
Ooh, okay.
I always thought it was the Swiss.
The Swiss are rough, but you can talk the Swiss down.
Hmm.
The Bulgarians are angry at the world, and they look for any excuse.
And have nothing to lose.
And have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Not only that, apparently they all train each other to have an iron jaw.
You have nothing to lose but loss itself, so get out there and not lose.
Well, pretty much. But like, okay, so Alexei is standing there, and Jim just clocked him in the jaw as hard as he could. Alexei, being a Bulgarian veteran, just looks at him and is like, for real? And he straight beans Jim right between the eyes. And of course, Jim just drops like a sack of potatoes, right? So Jim's female friend is like, oh my God, runs up, picks him up, and she's like, I'm so sorry, we're leaving. Picks up Jim. Jim wants to keep fighting. He's like, oh, hell no. But like all of his friends are like, no, we're done with this for now.
Our friend's an idiot, sir. We're sorry.
Alexei decides, he's like, you know what? I'm going to take a moment. I'm just going to sit on the fender of this taxi, and I'm just going to relax for a bit so I can calm down. Right? And then that's when the police came by. What are they called, Pyxie?
Constables?
Aside from Old Bill?
Bobbies?
Whatever they're called. Well,
Constables?
Sure, we'll go with that. But
I think they use.
They all roll up and go, oi, what's all this then?
Right.
Right.
What's all this?
Right.
What's all this?
Right.
I see everything's in order around here.
Yay! But anyway, so
I think now though they go by acronyms, like as to what level they are.
Yeah.
Like the inspector detectives and it depends on what they are.
Yeah.
But I think like modern day, like, and it would have been like starting back in the 2000s or so.
Yeah.
They don't call them by the little
names anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so one of the cops comes by because it's the bar area. That's where the cops are going to be because that's where the trouble's going to be, right? So they come along, and Alexei looks up, and he sees them, and he thinks, "Oh no," because he's thinking, I'm a foreign national in England, and I just got into a fight. They're coming for me. And then that's when the cops decide that they're going to stop, and they see him. And one of them is like, hey, so you got blood on your mouth. Are you okay? And he looks up and he explains the situation to him, right? Because he's like, you know what? Whatever. And he's trying to minimize everything because he doesn't want to get pulled into this because it's UK in 2008. You think we're xenophobic here in America right now? England at that time was pretty damn bad.
Oh, you got a license for that busted lip.
There it is, folks. There it is. But his fears were kind of unfounded, though, because these two cops were pretty chill. And they were actually, honest to God, concerned about him, right? So they're like, what happened to you? Tell us what happened. So he told them, and he explained the entire situation. And these two cops are like, oh, it's Jim. So they decide that they're going to go look for him. They tell Alexei, they're like, all right, don't worry. We're going to go get him. You might get a phone call from the court saying you have to come in and talk to them and whatnot. He's like, man, I don't want to press charges or anything. And they're like, no. You don't have a choice in the matter. The cops go pick up Jim. And then, of course, he's pissed because he doesn't know what's going on. And suddenly he's being arrested for assault. And the entire time he's asking for what? Farting? And that was his entire defense. All he did was fart. So sure enough, this was one of the only cases where someone is they are accused of assault by farting.
Hang on. Oh, so that was the official charge, or that was just what he was talking about?
Oh no. He was charged with assault because he punched the guy. But, he made a big thing about it that it was the farting that caused the issue. So that's what all the news agencies clung on to was farting.
Oh, that does kind of
even though
sound
that's
about right.
not the real deal. Yeah.
That would be a better headline.
It would be. But, I mean, not totally true, but it is a better headline.
I mean, gas attack in London. I mean, that's...
Yeah. That's going to gain some interest.
Boy, you'd hear about that all over the place. You'd say that they would raise a stink about it.
This was definitely the era of media craziness, which is still ongoing, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Just now, everybody's taking sides. All right, so that's our story.
Hey, hang on a second. Are you meaning to suggest that I or anyone here would be anti-fart?
Sure.
Okay, moving on.
That's what I'm suggesting.
I'm anti-dog farts.
You have no idea. The stink that is coming out of this dog right now is ungodly. All right, so that's our story. Now, Pyxie and Riggs, it is now up to you to decide, is this real? Is it a real situation that happened that we refer to as an A? Or is it real as in the fictional storyline or side story to a movie, television show, video game, whatever, that we refer to as an E?
Well, the way you were telling the story, I kind of had the feeling like if this ended with those guys dead, I would have said this sounds suspiciously like the plot to a Joker. But since they aren't dead, and since it actually involves farts, I'm sort of and knowing just how just stupid a lot of reality tends to be, I'm kind of siding towards an A on this.
All right.
I
Riggs
agree.
is saying an A.
I agree. I think it's an A. I think it really happened. And if it didn't, I want to watch this.
Yeah, that too, definitely. I want to know exactly what you're referring to if this is real, because that's going on my to be watched list.
Yeah.
So Pyxie is saying that is an A.
We're both saying A.
We're both saying an A. Well, you are correct.
Excellent.
Yay.
Reality disappoints once again.
This actually did happen in 2008 in Kingswood, England. It says that it happened in an Uber, but I don't see how that could have been.
Well, who knows? Maybe Uber was a thing in the UK before it was a thing here.
Well, I think that they're calling it an Uber in the article just because That's what
Everybody
people would
understands
know
that
it.
now. Yeah.
Alexei's real name was Alexander Bonkev, however you say that, I don't know. But he is from Bulgaria. And Jim's name was James Mallet. So, yeah, this was a situation that really did happen.
I don't think you would have had to change the names. I don't think we would have either of us recognized those.
I know, but still. Congratulations, guys. Y'all got it on the first go.
1 for 1. That's awesome.
Good job. So far. Yes. Could you imagine having that bad of gas that you would actually get into a fight with somebody over it?
I find myself wondering how he evidently had a female friend in the back of that taxi with him that was subjected to that. Presumably would have been subjected to that before and is still there. Knowing what a belligerent, gassy individual she was hanging around with.
Right, but
she was dating his other friend that was there.
I think it was either that or it was one of those, I'm just one of the guys type women,
It could have been.
I don't know. Either one, whatever. I don't know. All right, so that was our story, and they got it right. So this was an A. Riggs.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
Well, most of my animations, at least the ones that were a little bit more story oriented, around the Sprite Byte YouTube channel. That's Sprite Byte, BYTE, at YouTube. There's also a couple of submissions there from some other guys who are part of this little group. Admittedly, we don't have a lot of stuff, but we do have some things vaguely in the pipeline that we're trying to get out there.
Nice. All right, so there is our good friend Riggs. Thank you for coming in and listening to this harrowing story of a toxic situation.
Indeed. I'm glad I could
Yes.
I'm glad I could find out about this kind of thing and then realize that like my workplace crop dusts are not that bad in the grand scheme of things.
You've never been socked in the jaw over it.
Indeed. Yet.
All right, if you like that story, then why not like and subscribe and do all the cute things that, most podcasts ask you to do, and
leave a comment.
Or
leave a comment, or subscribe, hit that button. Every time we say the word subscribe, the little button should be like flashing or
boop boop. Bleep bloop. Anyway, so if you like that, why not do all the cute stuff? And, we would really appreciate it. We really like you. And we really want you to come back. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. Just keep in mind that we are an independent podcast, and mostly it's just me and Pyxie, and on occasion, a good friend that stops by. Run over to the merch store. It's at CrojanDesigns.com. And there you can find all kinds of our really cool merch and whatnot. Maybe find a t-shirt. Pyxie's got a new t-shirt, and I'm currently working on that one t-shirt that you mentioned a couple episodes ago.
Oh yeah, the Podcrasher t-shirt for the dog.
Podcrasher t-shirt. But yeah, that's going to be up soon. But yeah, I mean, if you can't afford that, that's fine. We are more than happy for you to tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell people you love, tell people you hate to watch our show, to listen to the podcast on Spotify or YouTube. Yeah.
Also, if you would like to inhabit this lovely voodoo doll and be a guest on our podcast, send us an email at crojan.designs@gmail.com. And you too can either tell us a story or listen to a story. Inhabited voodoo doll.
And I can actually vouch for the voodoo doll. It is comfy, it's a little sticky, but it's I'm sure they'll work that part out.
We try to fill it with the softest down feathers we could find. So, all right, well, thank you once again to Riggs for coming in and listening to this terrible story.
Awesome. Glad to be here.
All right. And everybody else, just sit around because we got some great stories to tell you all. And until then,
Keep it real.